Okay, guys, I'm going to give everybody a few minutes to hop on. I'm going to send out this link through Remind for anybody else. Let me know in the comments that you're here and you can hear me okay. If you are not able to get into the comments, remember you have to have an account. If you don't have an account, but you still want to ask a question, you can send a message through Remind. So I've got my phone right here beside me. But yeah, I'll give everybody some time. I've only got a couple of people in here, so I'm going to wait. See if I can get some more here. Okay, I'm just waiting to see if more people hop on. Okay. Hey, Nevaeh, I see your comment. Anybody else? If you're able to comment. I'm getting a couple messages through Remind. I see Allie. And Alicia. Avely. I'm not for sure who that is. You guys have some screen names that I don't know who you are, but that's okay. Okay, so while some people are still logging on, just if you have any particular questions, just shoot them into the comments, or like I said a few minutes ago, you can send them to me through Remind if you're not able to get into the comments, and I'll do that as well. A couple more people, it looks like, are hopping on here. Whatever you all want to talk about, it's all up to you all. I've got some paper copies of some of the work that you've had to do, so I can pull some of those up. Some of the work I don't have paper copies of, but I'm sure I can find something. So while I'm waiting for your questions, something that got asked in my last video is, what do we do about turning like papers in, like the stuff that I've just kind of posted on Schoology and said, here, this is your practice. Honestly, I don't know yet. I don't know what the answer is to that. I don't know if you all will turn them in or what. So right now, my answer to that is all the papers that you've been doing, just keep them. If we go back to school, then I will take them when we go back to school. If we don't go back to school, then I'm not for sure if we'll have like a day that you all can come in and turn them in, or what we'll do. Honestly, I don't know the answer to that right now. There's Lillian. Hi, Lillian. Okay, so what do you guys want to go over? Because I will go over whatever you need me to do. I've got some blank paper here, but I've also got some of the work that I've posted. So some of this work, like I've got like, an example of the quiz here. Okay, Alice, I see you. So that's good if you're just here to kind of pay attention. If you guys have like a particular comment, like a particular subject, I can find work for that subject. So let's see. What could we go over? Okay, so how about systems? Let's start here. I'll kind of start here and just ask you, how did you all feel about systems? Were you okay with systems? Was there anything in particular I needed to go over? Do I need to go over some of the systems of inequalities? Because that's kind of where you all were at before we let out. Okay, I see Aaron's here. Some of the word problems. Word problems are always fun. Okay, so Lillian said thought the systems were easy, so that was good. Okay, I'm glad you guys found them easy. I had a couple of people said that they were pretty easy on your discussion post. And don't forget, you've got that discussion post and you've got Delta Math both due tomorrow, which I know some of you have done that already. I've been checking in on that. How about just kind of looking at some resources that I have here? Okay, so how about the word problems to systems? Okay, so Alicia kind of mentioned that. So maybe I'll do one of those. Now, this is not the exact problems that you have, because you were doing, at least I don't think it was the exact problems you had. I'm getting my classes mixed up on what I'm giving. Let's see. Anyways, here's some questions, some system review questions. So maybe like I can do this. So I'll just help you kind of set them up because you guys are pretty good at solving them. We seem to get them down. But if anybody needs help with solving, like just put it in the comments. Let me know, and it's fine. You can also, like I said, send me a message to remind. I've got my phone right beside me, so I can check that one. So maybe I can do this one. And then there was another one on Delta Math that somebody sent me that I'll try to go over something similar to it. Okay, so let's just do this one together. Okay, so it says Ashley had a summer lemonade stand where she sold small cups of lemonade for $1.25 and large cups for $2.50. If she sold a total of 155 cups of lemonade for $265, how many cups of each type did she sell? So with this one, or with all of the system word problems that you do, make sure that you first start off just by identifying your variables. And you should have two variables. So you should have an X and a Y. And it's usually your two unknowns. And a lot of times you can find it in your questions. So you're trying to find how many cups of each type did she sell. So you could say, okay, well, my X is going to be the number of small cups. And then Y is going to be the number of large cups. So then when you're making your word problem, actually look to try to put information together in groups that are related to each other. So like you have the price. So you have small cups for $1.25 and then large cups for $2.50. And then you also have the total price it costs. So like all of that kind of fits together. So I'm going to see if I can make an equation for that. Well, if all of it together equals $265, I can put that. And the way that they got that $265 is if they take the small cups for $1.25. So you're going to do $1.25 times the number of small cups. And then if you take the large cups that are $2.50, if you take $2.50 times the number of large cups, add those together, you get your total amount. Then just the information that you have left, the fact that she has a total of 155 cups, use that last piece of information. So it's a total of 155. And you got to ask yourself, how do they get 155 cups? Well, you got to take the number of small cups and then the number of large cups and add them together. Okay. So that's one, that's setting up, and usually that's the hard part for you all is setting up. But then you could solve this by substitution, by elimination, Kramer's rule. You can solve it either way you want. I'd either use probably elimination or Kramer's rule on this one because it would be easier. If you need me to actually solve it out using either method, like I said, let me know in the comments, but I'm just going to set it up. And there was a question on Delta Math that somebody sent me that I would like to go over. Okay, so Allie said this makes sense. Good. Okay, let me find the question that was on Delta Math. I have it on my phone, so let me find it. Because I thought this one was kind of interesting to see. So let me grab a piece of paper here. Okay. Okay, so the question that was on Delta Math, and you all may have seen this question on Delta Math too, but it says something to the effect that like Isaiah can iron 25 shirts per hour. And then it says that Cooper, and that's totally not Cooper. Cooper, you guys know I can't spell, can iron 30 shirts per hour. And then it also says that Cooper works twice as many hours as Isaiah. Sorry, I should have written this out before coming on here. And then together, they ironed 340 shirts. So somebody had this question, like they sent it to me through Remind. They had this question on Delta Math and they had it and they were just wondering, okay, how do you do this? Because it's a little bit different. It actually took me a few minutes to figure it out too. Because the whole question was wanting you to figure out, okay, well, how many hours did each kid actually iron or work, I guess I should say. So you're going to start off by saying, okay, X is going to equal the number of hours for Isaiah. And then Y is going to equal the number of hours for Cooper. Now, hopefully, the first equation would be pretty easy. So if you've got the fact that Isaiah can iron 25 shirts per hour and then Cooper can iron 30 shirts per hour, okay, and then they iron together a total of 340 shirts, we can make an equation with that three information. So we could do, okay, 25 times the number of hours that Isaiah works. That's going to tell you how many shirts Isaiah did, okay, and then 30 times the number of hours Cooper worked. So 30 times that, that'll give you how many shirts Cooper ironed. Add them together and they're going to equal 340. But the problem is getting our second equation for this. And your second equation comes from this statement right here, that Cooper works twice as many hours as Isaiah. So for that one, you have to remember twice as many. Twice as many means that you're going to take 2 times Isaiah's hours. So Cooper's hours is going to equal 2 times X. Okay, so Cooper's hours is going to equal 2 times Isaiah's hours. I know that was a question that people were having, or that somebody had trouble with, and even I had trouble with when I saw it the first time because I wasn't used to it. And I'm pretty sure that Delta Math gave you some more too, like that, or at least they did for this person. Okay, what else do you guys need? How about the statistics that you started yesterday? How is that going? Or I could do more word problems because I know word problems are hard. And yes, Allie mentioned that there is a lag on this video. I think it's a YouTube thing that I'm honestly not used to. So I'm trying to be patient. So you guys will just have to kind of be patient with me while I try to learn this. Because obviously I don't know much about making videos on YouTube. So I'll just try to wait, be a little patient. Let me know what you've got. If you need to go back and ask a question about a problem I've already worked, go back and ask. It's okay. And it's okay, guys. Don't feel shy about leaving comments if you need something. Okay, so Alicia, I know this is something we should know by now, but with elimination, when it doesn't go in perfectly, so maybe you get a fraction. For some reason, I get stuck on that. Okay. Let me see if I have an example just right on hand. If I don't, I'll just make one up. May not be a best example, but it'll be something. By the way, guys, the person you see in the comment, Angela Minnick, she is one of my friends who's kind of helping me out on the technical side of this. She used to be an algebra teacher right next door. Okay, Alicia, let me just kind of make one up, and we're going to hope that it turns out to be a fraction. If not, I'll try again. Okay, let's see. Okay, so is this what you mean, Alicia, by... Okay, yeah, Alicia, send me your problem. Okay. Okay, so this is the problem that Alicia sent me. Make sure I wrote it down right. Okay, so for this problem, oops. Okay, so if you're going to do elimination with this problem, you could really eliminate either the x or the y, whichever one you wanted to do. Maybe we'll eliminate the x just because it's there. So I would want to change these into 15. So to change these into 15, because that's a common multiple, 3 times 5 will give you 15, and then 5 times 3. So I'm going to multiply this top one by 5. So I'll get negative 15x plus 15y equals 75. And then 15x minus 12y equals, let's see, negative 27 times 3, negative 81. Okay. And then these will cancel out. 15 plus negative 12 is 3y. And then 75 minus 81 is going to give me negative 6. Divide by 3. So I'm going to get y is equal to negative 2. So I've got my y, so I need to substitute into my x. So let's see. I'm going to substitute into the first equation. So to get my x, I'm going to substitute into my first equation right here. So I substitute that negative 2 in for y, and then I'm going to solve this one. So 3 times negative 2 is negative 6. Add 6. Divide by negative 3, and so I get negative 7. So I didn't get a fraction for that one. Not for sure what would have went wrong with what you did, but I didn't get a fraction. I could double check this, and remember to check your answers. All you have to do is just substitute them in. So I could grab my calculator right here, and I could substitute. Let's see, what was my point? -7.2. Just make sure that I do it right. So I'm getting 15, which I should. So I'm going to substitute into the other one. And for that one, I should get, oops, maybe if I actually enter it incorrectly. -27. So I hope that helped, Alicia. Do you or anybody else have any questions? Or is there anything else you need me to go on or go over? Again, you can send them to me through Remind. If you don't feel comfortable about leaving a chat here, you can send me questions through Remind. That'll work. I agree, Allie. I am ready to go back too. I don't know when that's going to happen, but yes, I'm ready. You are welcome, Alicia. Anybody else? Is there a particular topic you would like for me to go over? Yes, I can keep doing these live streams like these. I think next time, to kind of help get it going a little bit better, I'll have you all maybe on Schoology post some questions beforehand. But if they help, yeah, I can keep doing streams like these. Maybe next week I can try to do 2 of them instead of just 1, or whatever you all think is best. But yeah, I can totally keep doing these. And Allie, to help you out, and this is for everybody, to help you figure out what you do need some help on. Maybe just like write it down somewhere. That's for everybody. Like if there's a particular topic you're struggling with, write it down, and then, or even just message me and I can keep it like on a list and I can start kind of going over them with these. Okay, yeah, you like these better than Zoom? I couldn't get Zoom to work correctly on another person's computer. That's why I didn't do Zoom, and I decided to do these instead. And that's fine if you all don't have anything to ask right now. I will go ahead and tell you all, though, that I'm sure you've probably seen in the news that your EOC did get like canceled. If we go back to school, I don't know if Hamlin County is going to choose to give the EOCs. They could, but they did get where they're not going to count against you, so that's good. So we're almost done with our units, and then after that, I'm going to have like a little project that I'm going to have you all do. Yeah, and also, hey, help me out with classmates as well. Like, I still have some people that I haven't heard from. Please help me out with them and make sure that they know what's going on with everything. How is the systems? I didn't hear that about Lakeway, that they closed until May 1st. I knew you had a group chat, Allie. I knew you guys had talked about that before, so I appreciate you guys sending that stuff out to them. And if they ignore it, then that's their choice. I didn't know that Lakeway canceled until May 1st, though. That's interesting. And school from home is hard. I agree with you. And I have a hard time with motivation of just like getting up in the morning. If I can get up, I'm okay. But the getting up is hard. So I kind of made myself a schedule and I'm trying to treat it like I'm going to school anyways. Janelle, go ahead and ask it. It's okay if it's an old topic. That's fine. But yeah, you guys could probably, if you're having trouble like getting up and getting going, like treat it like it's a school day. Like go ahead and get up, like get ready, do what you would if you were going to school. And then just kind of like sit down somewhere and just have your computer out and just start working. But then, give yourself kind of like it was a school day. Give yourself an hour to just work, but then take a break. Because, you guys have breaks throughout the school day with class change. And guys, ask questions about whatever you need to. It's okay if it's an old topic. That's fine. Okay. Domain and range. So I'll do this. I know there's a lag. Okay, so Janelle, I'm going to go over domain and range like of a graph. If this is not what you're talking about, just let me know and I'll go over what you're talking about. But I'm going to assume that you're talking about finding domain and range of a graph. So let's see. Okay, so let's do this one. So this is domain and range, and let's find the domain and range of this. Okay, yeah, no, okay, I know what you're talking about, Janelli. Okay, so domain and range when we put it in set builder. Okay, so let's do that. So here's a graph, and we'll put it in set builder. So remember your domain. That's your X values. And so what we want to do is we want to figure out basically our smallest X value to our largest X value that we use. So let me make this a little bit clearer. I don't know if you guys can see the dots on my paper or not, but there we go. Okay, so what you need to do, so smallest X values to largest X values. So we're going to start over here because these are our smallest X values because this should be where our negative infinity is. So I'm going to figure out where basically kind of this graph starts. And the smallest X value that it uses is right here. And remember, I've told you before, you grab a different colored pen. I've kind of told you before that like if you draw like a barrier right here, if you say that's the smallest X value you use, if you draw a line right here, there should be nothing off to the left. Okay, so that's our smallest X value. Okay, that is included because it's a closed circle. Okay, so first I'm going to write it in interval notation. So this is interval. Okay. So this would be -3, and it gets a bracket because it's included. And then I want to figure out, okay, what's the largest X value it uses? So I'm going to go over and keep going over to the right. And if I look right here, I have an arrow, which we remember arrow means that it keeps going. So this graph is going to keep going up, but it is also going to keep going over. So that means that our largest X value it uses is going to be infinity. Now, if we want to write it in the set builder that you're talking about, Janelli, then what we need to do is we're going to say brackets X such that, and then this is saying that our X is going from -3 to infinity. So we can say that X is going to be greater than or equal to -3, comma, X is an element of the reals. Okay, so then that is our infinity. Okay, so now we got our domain. Now let's do our range. Okay, so range, same thing, but we're doing the Y value. So that's going to go up and down like this. So the smallest Y value, I'm going to go down, would be right here. So that would be our smallest Y value. So it's actually also at -3, and it is included. But then we want to see, okay, what is our largest Y value? Okay, and you know, it kind of looks like it would be 4 right here, but what you have to remember is there's an arrow here. An arrow means that you would keep going up. Okay, so this one is also going to infinity. So that means that this one is actually going to be the same thing, but with Y. Okay, so what if I changed it though? And yes, Allie, I'll post them. I'll take a picture and I'll post them on Schoology or Remind or both. That's fine. I can do that. Okay, so how about this? Let's do a quadratic since we just got done doing quadratics before you all left. Let's do a quadratic this way. Let's do one that opens down. Okay, so let's do domain and range of this one. So domain for this one, we want to know, okay, what's the smallest X value? Well, if you start over here, again, you run into this arrow. Remember what we talked about with quadratics, with these parabolas, is they're going to keep opening out and they're going to keep going. So that means that the smallest X value is going to be -infinity. And then what's going to be the largest X value? Again, it keeps opening out. So that's going to be +infinity. To write that in set builder notation is going to be x such that, and a lot of the times you guys want to try to do that negative infinity less than or equal to x less than or equal to positive infinity, but we don't need to do that. We just need to say, since it's going from negative infinity to positive infinity, we just need to say that x is an element of the reals because that includes all the numbers, just like negative infinity to positive infinity does. Okay, range. What's the smallest y value it uses? Well, smallest y value is going to be negative infinity because this graph is going to keep going down. So it's never actually going to hit a smallest value. Okay, largest, I go all the way up, and the highest it goes, remember that's your vertex, the highest it goes is 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's going to be y such that y is greater than or equal to 4. Nope, not greater than or equal to 4. Less than or equal to 4, my bad. Because we want all the numbers from negative infinity to 4. So that would be less than or equal to 4. Y is an element of the reals. Okay, did that help? And any other questions you all got? I think that, is that what we went over at the beginning? The stuff from the week before spring break. This, we've went over this for a while now, off and on throughout class a lot. Quadratics was like way before we got out. Right before we got out, so the week before spring break, you all were doing like inequalities with systems. So you all were doing this stuff. That was this stuff that you were doing. The inequalities. These are some copies of the notes that I had. Yeah. So what else do you all need? Any other topics you need me to go over, or just anything in general? Okay, so I think what we're going to do is I'm going to end this, or what? Okay, yeah, I'm going to end this here in just a few minutes. If you have any questions, feel free to message me on Schoology, message me through Remind, whatever. I will try to do another one of these live streams next week. Maybe I'll try to do a couple if they're helping you out. But what I'll do to make it go just a little bit smoother and like you guys can have like, you know, some more questions and I can have more stuff prepared is I will ask you what questions you need on Schoology so you can kind of send them to me. But we'll try to do this again next week. I hope it helped. I'll take pictures of this and I'll post on Schoology and I'll send it. So, but this wasn't bad for our first time doing this. So last chance, any questions before I end the stream? Okay, so Aurelia asked, what are we going to do about unit tests? Right now, we are just going to have these Schoology quizzes that I've kind of posted. If you all have noticed on Gradebook, your Delta Math assignment and then the Math Bits quiz that are both due tomorrow, I'm counting them as quiz grades. Okay, so those are going to be kind of like your quiz grades. I'm taking the check-in questions as grades too. So if you haven't answered any of those, you can go back and answer those. For test grades, we're not really going to do any unit tests online. I'm just giving you some quizzes, okay? For a test grade, starting in about like a week and a half, you guys will be done with all of the units we need to cover in algebra. So I have a little project that I have planned that you guys are going to do. The project is going to count as a test grade, and I'll give you all the information for that project, okay? That will be a test grade. It should be a fairly easy test grade to do too if you just do everything you need to for that. And yes, Aurelie, checking questions on Schoology. I'm posting updates every day on Schoology. The updates should be the first thing that you see when you open up Schoology. If you'll just read all of my message, the checking question is usually at the very end. It's a really short, easy question. And then you just need to answer it in the comments. It just shows that you are checking in the Schoology. You can go back and you can answer the other check-in questions from previous days. If you click the course, so if you go up to Schoology and you click the course, you can click on Algebra 1 and it should take you directly to the updates and you should see the check-in question again. It's very quick, easy questions. You can ask anybody here. No, it's not counted late. I'm not going to do that because I know that several people have been having trouble with Wi-Fi working. So no, go right ahead. You can answer them. It's not going to be late. Answer them. That's good. That's all I need to see. I just need to see that you're answering. And since I still have a couple of you on here, I think that I'm going to extend a couple of the deadlines because several people have been having some Wi-Fi issues and Schoology has just been an issue. So I'm going to look at that and I'll let you guys know today, but just keep working, okay? Get this stuff done. Don't wait till last minute. Those were good questions. Any others? Okay, Okay, calculators. Remember, you should have a calculator on your computer. So if you get on your computer, if you go to your desktop where all of your icons are at, you should have a calculator. Yes, yep. The icon looks like a skyscraper, like a building, and I think it says like TI-83. I'm not exactly for sure because I don't have that icon on mine, but when you pull it up, like it's exactly like the calculators we have at school. But yeah, they should be on the calculator because with this stats stuff that we're doing, the statistics, like you need the calculator. You can also find some apps for your phone that has some really good like graphing calculators. I have one app. It's called 80 Calculator 84. So it looks like this. That kind of works like a graphing calculator. It has some basic functions. It doesn't have all the function of a graphing calculator, but it's there. Okay, anything else, guys? Okay, I'm going to get off here. Sounds like you guys are good now. I will plan a couple more of these for next week. Make sure you're staying up to date on your assignments. But as always, if you guys need me, message me. I'll be happy to help you out. I look forward to talking to you all again. It was good to talk to you all who are here. I'm glad you guys joined. So I will see you all later. Again, message me if you need me, guys. I'm here for you. Bye, guys.